I thought I told you time and time again that we won't stop. Back it show by show, I'm tryna triple and double the pot. Book for at least 6 figures, a show or more for him on now. Pooping at 25 rows, all great interior whenever it's cloudy. Every day better my growth from chasing health and wealth, not clout. Baddies under my belt, I cook like a chef from Mr. Chow. Ain't been going no speeds, but I spend G's whenever I browse. Mink on all of my carpets at the house, I walk on clouds. Soon as I get out this work, I'm out the door, I'm in and out. Every girl slapping and burnt just like a perk, I'm in her mouth. Better them grins my turf, I got out of the dirt without no doubt. When it keep coming, they coming, we saving the winter, this summer we wildin'. I can't even call it freestyling, I'm one of designing, the style ain't free. Travel to go like a charter, I'm go back to Saudi to pick up the cream. Landing that A, hit the office, I got a new offer that I gotta read. I'm the same one, took the top off, I'm one of the rappers, they got them intrigued. Send back, land on the summer, I'm coming in hot, 400 degrees. FS, take all the...
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome, welcome, welcome. It is the Sideline Junkies. It's the Friday Freestyle. This is where it's almost like Burger King. You can have it your way. We're going to talk about a little bit of this and a little bit of that. We got Mrs. Bossman with me as she's phoning her phone. I don't know what she got going on. And then we got Flying Brian. You want to do your thing? Because you can do that here because you still had the controls.
I don't know if the soundbite's in it. The soundbite's not in this studio. Oh, no, there it
Okay.
is. Yeah,
Okay,
there
but
you go.
like, hold on, I couldn't hear. Like, what's going on?
There we go. I know you had to adjust your thing from the other night when Lee Ice and company got going. That was pretty
I
heat,
know that was the first time I
interesting
ever had to
exchange.
mess with the levels because they started screaming.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I can't.
Um,
You can't hear us. She
huh?
can't hear us.
I can hear you,
Oh,
flying. I can't hear Midnight Rider.
that's
I can.
okay.
Don't worry about it. Nobody wants to hear me anyway. I'm gonna hop out and hop back
Look,
in.
All
I'm
right,
just. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna come back. Let's see if that helps.
all
Because
right.
it might.
She's gonna go out. She's gonna go out. She said. I don't know if you can. Can you hear her?
Yeah, I can hear her fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's no problem hearing her. Um, let's get to what you. All right, first let's do it this way. Here's what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about the UFC upcoming event. So I don't know if that's where Anthony's questions lie or not. We're talking a little bit of Wimbyama. And then after that, we have a question about, and this was came up sometime yesterday. I can't remember if it was BJ or if it was the big guy, but he talked about the fact that we cut the cord. That cutting the cord changed the way cable company. I mean, I'm sorry, sports teams and franchises decided to try to get us involved and get us going. So with that being said, let's start off with you, B. Let's go UFC. We got a big upcoming event. Um, let's talk about it.
Right. So if you're a huge UFC fan, you obviously know what's going on tomorrow. Even if you're not a big UFC fan, you still probably know what's going on. It's this return of Conor McGregor. So whether you like him or you don't like him, he is the biggest star in the history of the sport. And that doesn't make him the best fighter. We get people get confused of being the most popular or being the biggest makes you the best. I know in the WNBA world, there's a lot of controversy of Caitlin Clark. But I don't think her fans believe she's the best, but she is the face of the league. Whether you like that or not, it's true. Conor McGregor is the most popular fighter. He brings the most eyes, and the proof is in the numbers. So this is the top gates of the of all time UFC. Now, obviously, they charge crazy amount of money for tickets, but they always have. It's just like boxing was with Tyson and Holyfield, and even in the '80s and the '70s. These are your prize, prices. But if you notice, Connor's got three of the top five, and his most recent one broke the all-time record. So they did a $25 million gate for tomorrow's show. You can kind of average that out for yourself how much tickets go, but you're talking
Good God,
10 to 20, 30 grand a piece on the floor, I
right?
would say, maybe even more.
Dang.
I went to one fight in New Jersey, UFC 78, and I think even back then, this would have been '08. I think the cage seats were like $1,000, and that was almost 20 years ago. So it's never been cheap to go, to some of the big fights. And when Connor or Rousey or Lesnar, it's always crazy. But if you are not a fan and you tune in because it's Connor, the card's actually stacked. And probably the more intriguing fights for casuals or people that don't watch is Gabriel Stevenson. Does that ring a bell to you? That name?
Yeah, he's an Olympic wrestler. I think he's a 4-time NCAA champ. He also had a quick stint in the WWE, and I think he was an Olympic gold medalist as well.
Gold. So heavyweight gold medalist wrestler, is the first gold medalist to be in the UFC. I think of all as far as Olympic goes. Like Rousey was a bronze
Right.
medalist, but and I know some of the guys were alternates, but he's the first. I know he's had some issues off the in the personal world, but I mean it's intriguing. Anytime they always got to make names, so. But it's weird because they had him on the main card originally, and then they all of a sudden put him down to the prelims. So I don't know what exactly. Plus, he's being trained by John Jones, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
Right. I got a question for you.
yeah.
I've never done the UFC fight. I've watched the card go from beginning to end. What is it like? Like for the prelims, when do you decide if you're attending it? Like when do you decide? All right, let me get here because I want to see this fight. Because you really don't know what time it starts, or do you just go and just do the marathon and ride with the whole thing?
Yeah, so when we went, we pretty much knew. So I went with me and a few other people, my best friend, my dad, a few other guys, and we were all fans. We all decided, like, if we're gonna, this is probably never do this again. And to this day, most people that watch us know we live in the DC, Baltimore area. They've never had a UFC pay per view or numbered event in maybe one with John Jones, but they've never had one in DC. It's always been in Baltimore or maybe the Patriot Center. So we kind of figured that this would be the one time we ever go to this. So we're going to watch every fight. We got there when doors opened
Good
and we
God.
watched, yeah, and we watched the first fight. Part of it though was my dad's favorite fighter was a fighter named Joe Lozon, and
Yeah.
he was like the third or fourth prelim. So we wanted to make sure we saw that also. But yeah, we made a decision that we were going to watch every fight. The funny thing about that is, people, if you've never been before, and again, I haven't been in a long time, but we didn't have bad seats. We had good seats. All of us could not help but look up and watch the screen the entire time. We very
Yeah.
rarely looked down on the cage, and we both kind of realized we're just watching a giant television. And it was cool to be in the audience. The card wasn't great, and ended up turning out not being great anyway. We were supposed to get BJ Penn versus Sean Shirk, Tito Ortiz versus Rashad Evans, and a rematch between Matt Hamill and Michael Bisping. And the names might not mean anything, but that would have been a great card, and that's not what we
Right.
got. So,
That's
but I
crazy.
mean, I enjoyed it for the atmosphere. That's part of the fun of going to WWE events is the intros and the pyro and there's not necessarily that with the UFC, but I would probably go again. But with the prices, I would never go. But yeah, we all said to ourselves after the show that we probably wouldn't spend the money to do it again because we try to not watch the screen and we just migrated up to it every time.
All right, one more. Is there a up and coming fighter on this card that maybe if you're a novice or you kind of like UFC but you're a fringe person, kind of like the guy that could take the mantle? I'll take it say it that way.
Right. So obviously Gabriel Stevenson is obviously he's only had 3 MMA fights. This is his UFC debut. So obviously he's the one to watch, Olympic gold medalist. But probably, to hardcore UFC fans, Paddy the Baddy Pembit is a very well known name, but he's
Right.
still young. He's a guy that they want to be the next guy. Him and another guy named Sean O'Malley, and they
Mm-hmm.
have him in the reason that he's in a co-main event spot and he's on the Connor card because they want to bring all the eyeballs on him. So that would be the guy to watch. Another guy on this card would be to look out for is Robert Whitaker, who is a former middleweight champion, been around a long, long time,
I was
but
about to
he's
say,
moving up
yeah.
to it. Yeah, but he's moving up to it. This is his debut at light heavyweight. He's kind of trying to like resurrect his career. So this could either be the beginning of the end of his career, or he could be, have a next chapter. So, and then only one girl match on the card, but it's two good fighters, both like ranked in like the top 10. And they always need flyweight contenders because the champion there is almost unbeatable. So that'd be another good fight to check out.
Okay. And this starts at what time tomorrow?
So you just talked about the marathon thing. So you can't even see the whole because there's fights underneath. I think there's more fights in it. So the site starts at 5,
Okay.
5 Eastern time. 8 o'clock starts the regular prelims, and then I'm sorry, 5, 7, and 9, and then 9 o'clock is the main card. So Connor will probably fight around 11.
So if I'm watching this or trying to watch this, if I'm trying to watch at 5, am I changing from 5 and then at 7 is another channel?
No,
And
no,
9
it's they used to do that back in the day. It would be on all different things, but now that it's on Paramount, everything's on Paramount. So you load it up on Paramount, and you're good to go. But
Miss
back
Boss,
when it was still on pay-per-views, it would be something on Fox Sports 1, then it would be another fight on Versus channel, then it'd be some on Spike, and then you'd have to buy the pay-per-view. But now it's all in. It's much easier to access now.
Miss Bossman, you got anything?
That kind of makes sense with streaming services and stuff because now you can catch it all in one place versus jumping around to different places trying to get all you can get out of the fight.
So are you trying to do a segue here? Because if you do, this can work. We can do a segue
It's
into
working, yeah.
the topic.
Hey,
I like what you did there.
you're welcome.
So one of our topics tonight was or is they cutting the cord change sports. And what we mean by that, and that's why she said that great response. Now you get the UFC all in one spot streaming on Paramount. Great answer. We've been looking at this for the last couple of days. I know KG brought it up, but I mean, go ahead and continue your thoughts since you started it.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate you. I'm like, it makes everything more compact because, back in the day, you have one big service and you have all these little services in between because, like, when you would have cable, everything came on cable. But cable is basically obsolete now and everybody's streaming. So why not have everything in one central location, especially if the companies themselves are owning the rights to these fights?
Okay, but then the consumer question would be, why are we? If I pay this and I have access to these regular channels, why do I have to pay $9.99 a month to get Paramount? I got to pay $8.99 to get Amazon Prime. I got to pay $19.99 for Netflix. Like, you don't? Do you think that's pricing people out of options?
It's always going to price people out of options, but that's when you have to learn where your bundles are coming from. Because a lot of cellular service now are being coupled with streaming services. So say if I got T-Mobile and T-Mobile's doing free Netflix for 2 years, then that's something I don't have to pay out of my pocket because now that's with my monthly plan. So they're doing that a lot. If you got, what is it, Disney, ESPN, and
Hulu
Hulu, that all
or
comes.
what? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So everybody's working together because they know there's too many baskets and people are going to stop buying all those services. But once you start getting companies like, look, we can work together on this and we can maximize our profit, then nobody goes without getting fed.
Brian, any thoughts?
I personally love it. I've been waiting for the UFC to get on one of these streaming services for years. WWE was way ahead of this curve 11, 12 years ago when they started their own.
Right.
And you could get everything under the WWE network. Now that everything's kind of spread out, it's not as good as it was, but UFC was hanging on to that pay-per-view. The But that's pretty much pay-per-view is pretty much dead. I think
Right.
maybe there's a little bit of, but even boxing, like I know they have what the Zone, but
You're right.
yeah. I will say there's one thing that I'm frustrated with Fox. CBS has a platform where their live sports are on Paramount Plus. NBC has a platform where their live sports are on Peacock. ABC has a platform where their live stuff is usually on ESPN. Fox doesn't have that option. Why? I don't know. You can't watch any of the soccer matches streaming, or maybe you can if you have like another app. But like I run everything through my PlayStation. I don't have cable. I have none of that. I have different apps, or I have YouTube TV, and all of it runs through my PlayStation. But I have a smart TV in my room.
Right.
But I don't.
Yes.
Yeah, but I can't watch the soccer matches in my room because I don't have. There's no
Right.
option to stream it because I don't have YouTube TV in there. I don't have it set up in there. So I don't understand. Now you can buy Fox has a $20 add-on on
Right.
Amazon, but I mean I might have to do that for football. What if I'm like out of town or something? But then you got NFL Plus you can get all the local stuff too. But that's the only thing that bugs me. We should be able to watch anything on demand whenever we want if we're willing to pay for it. I don't know why I can't watch a Buffalo Bills game whenever I want to if I'm willing to pay $5 or $10 for it. I don't even care what the price is. Just let me have the option. We live in a world now where we should be able to have anything we want when we want if we're willing to pay the price for it. Some people aren't, and that's fine. But I don't know why I got to pay $300 for a Sunday ticket if I want to watch Buffalo. Just let me play. Let me watch Buffalo because we know we can do it. We know it's there.
I thought they. Where was I at? I thought I saw like you could centralize your channel to if you wanted to watch certain teams.
I know, like on the. I don't know about the ticket. I had the ticket last year for the first time, and I'm not sure if that's how if there was an option for that. But I know, like for the Fox thing add-on on Amazon, they had all the different like local news. So I don't know if like if I have the $20 Fox add-on and Buffalo's on Fox, I could watch the Buffalo games on the Buffalo feed. That I don't know. But as far as I know, Sunday Ticket doesn't offer you either individual teams and I don't know why.
Yeah, that'd be. I mean, that's the crazy part because I would just. It's probably because they want you to buy the whole thing instead of separating
But people
out.
will still buy both. Like my family, we have multiple people, multiple
Hey,
teams, obviously with my background, and bars will still buy them all. But if I was 20 years old and single and I was living on my own and want to watch Buffalo, I don't want to spend $300, but I might spend 75 for
That
the
right.
whole
makes
season, and you're
because
still gonna make money.
that makes me miss TiVo because remember you could actually record all of the stuff and then you can go back and watch it whenever you want to.
Well,
Yeah, I
now
mean you
on
YouTube
service.
TV has something like that, but it's not.
Yeah, I have So I have Hulu, and daily I record MLB Central during baseball season because I know I'm never gonna watch a whole episode. But if I'm in here middle of the night, I'm wide awake at 2 a.m. I'm gonna throw it on just until I fall back to sleep. Or if it's an evening where I'm not watching anything, I throw it on, even though it airs at 10 a.m. It could be 10 p.m. and I'm watching it. So uh the boss man jumps in to the conversation, says, remember, for a newer generation, this is normal. They don't know what cable is, so streaming is how they normally watch their stuff. And that's a great thing. And actually, he brings me to a different question because you said something early, Flying Brian, and I wanted to double down on this because you said WWE started this
Pretty
um
much.
network, and then now they're partnered up. And here's the question I want to ask: do you think WWE partnering with TKO influenced them to do this streaming thing through a certain platform? Is that a byproduct of being associated with the WWE?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I just think the UFC was just behind the times. I think they thought they would be the one product that people would still buy. I think people still were, but here's a way to look at it. You have 12 pay-per-views a year and you're not sure how many people are going to buy this and buy that. But
Right.
if you sell it to Paramount, you're going to have $15 billion bam right in your pocket. And you can still sell advertisements or however how that works. Or you can rack up the prices for the tickets and then make your money on the back end there too, which is what they've done with Connor. Now they may be losing a little money this month because Connor is fighting and they can't technically charge for it, maybe, but they just set the all-time gate record, so they're getting on the back end somewhere. So I get it, maybe why they were hanging on, but you got to adjust with the times. Ask Blockbuster about adjusting with the times, how that
Right.
works out if you don't and you dig your heels in and think you know better. You don't exist anymore. So I'm so glad they did it before it got too late. But yeah, I think being in the TKO, I think that had a big influence on it because it worked for WWE. I remember when WWE first announced it, everybody thought they were crazy. You have to pay for WrestleMania anymore. You can watch WrestleMania for $10 a month, let alone everything else. And they're still
And they
doing
had
it. Now everyone does it.
and they had all the libraries there, so you could go
Yeah.
back and watch any pay-per-view or anything else you wanted. And that's actually where they got you because you think, all right, I'm getting the pay-per-view for free now, but what you're also getting is this other content that's just sitting there, and you can go into it whenever you want. It actually push. The great part of that concept was it always puts WWE in your mind because you're like, oh, I'm not watching anything. damn, you remember that Starcade in '83, Harley
Yeah.
race, Ric Flair, blood all over the place. Boom, watch that. Like it's just yeah.
As a
Go ahead.
fan that I was, I would have paid $10 a month just for the library. Having the pay-per-views was just a no-brainer, but to have all the old pay-per-views and then to get the Nitros and the Raws and all that stuff, I mean, I have box sets. I have hundreds of DVDs. I have all. I mean, I'll throw a question out there because you guys are a little older than me. Um, do you is do you guys still care about the physical media thing? I know a lot of people get attached to that.
What do you mean the physical media thing?
Meaning that you can't like I have I have like a display at my parents' house still of all my old DVDs, and they're all in order of my UFC paper DVDs 43, 44, 45. You know, I own all the DVDs. People still like to have the physical media. With video games, they're going to start
Exactly.
making the new systems without even a disc drive. The only way to play the games is to download them off, off the thing. Do you guys still want to buy and have the physical product, or now we just don't care anymore? Because I
Honestly,
don't care anymore.
I stopped caring. I think it was 2012. I had the PS4, and between my son and the girl I was dating, her son, they decided to add a bunch of games to the PlayStation. And I was like, well, we didn't go to the store. How you get games? They were like, oh no, we just downloaded it. I was like, what? It's like, yeah, Dad, this is a thing you can do. You can download the games. And I was like, all right. So then at that point, I was like, so what's the point of me going to GameStop and getting ripped off where I could just get it right here? And most time they have decent sales. You catch them right around the holidays, you can get you a good game, $25, and you making out. Because I don't play a lot of anything else. So my season was when football came out, I played football. Then when the basketball release came, I'd play a little bit of basketball, but I still had my football as my main thing. Baseball starts, I'm playing MLB The Show, no matter what. And then somebody got me into the Diamond Dynasty, and I play that. But physical media, no, I don't care one bit for it because there's no use for it. Or it's just like it just collects space now to me.
It used to be like a decoration thing. People would
Right,
have
right.
their VHS collection or even their DVD collection later on, like in the living room, like in the corner, or like their CD display and all that. But
And it'd
that's
be
not a
built around the TV.
yeah.
Well, the downside to not actually holding the physical media, because I read books. I used to have books out the ass,
No,
but
that's a good.
so it can be manipulated. That's the problem. So something that was there on a physical copy, it can be manipulated digitally. So just say the system goes down, now you can't access what you have downloaded, and the only thing you do is having those physical copies. That's where everything messes up at. You never really get rid of what you can fall back on, because when you need it to fall back, now you don't have it, and you no longer have access to it. So it's a it's a win lose. You know what I'm saying? Because anything can happen.
It's the way of because they're actually having this discussion now. I think Congress is trying to save AM radio because I mean you have all these other ways and means of getting information, but AM is the only natural platform that doesn't depend on technology and still relies on the signal. If you see a comment, Brian, go ahead and pull it up and we can talk to it.
Well, it was the boss just responding about the physical media, talking about. It's funny that he said that, talking about buying a big game. Yeah, if you buy the disc, the physical disc of a PlayStation game, you still have to download it.
Yep.
Yep.
The last game I bought for physical was Madden 24. You know why I bought that? Josh Allen was on the cover.
Okay.
I don't know if I ever played it, but I got it.
Because that's
I
like
was-
plays Division, and he just got back on it a couple of weeks ago, and he had to download a new update, and it took forever. So
Yeah, you got to make sure you have that set up where that your PlayStation or I don't know how Xbox is, but it's on rest mode, and that way it downloads. The same thing with my friend, me and my friend, we play almost every night, and he got home from work, and he's like, "My update didn't download. I got another 45 minutes." I'm like, "I'm going to bed."
Yeah. Who do you play,
I've been
Brian?
waiting all day for you to get off work. I've been downloaded, ready to go, and now tell me another hour. No, I'm going to bed.
I'll play with you tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Go to bed and we'll get up early and play instead.
Do you get on the sticks, Miss Boss Man?
I used to. I can't now because I get headaches from all the movement parts. But yeah, I used to play. I was playing Brian and Soul Calibur the other day. Me and my son used to play Soul Calibur online.
Whoa,
Whoop his ass. So yes.
Soul Calibur.
man! Soul Calibur is the second generation of one of the best games ever made on the original PlayStation. Used to be a game called Soul Blade.
Soul Blade. Yep.
And that was the best fighting game. Many nights before we went out to party in college, my boys, we'd be in the room and you used to have to take a shot or take a drink if you lost. And at one point, when we first got it, I used to play with Rock, and that's the big ass dude that basically I used to try to hit people as far as I could because I was the best one at the beginning, and then slowly, one of my buddies got the girl with the uh what geisha. She had the geisha outfit on, and she was quick. So when it took me now, when you hit her, it was crazy. But if she got loose, you couldn't keep up with her speed. It was her, and then it was what's the pirate's name? Cervantes or something like that.
Cervantes.
Yes, that was my guy too. I used to love the swords, man. I used to love that game.
I like Soul Calibur. I'm more of a Tekken guy though.
Oh shit.
Tekken
That's
is basically Soul Calibur without weapons. The same company.
Yep.
So my kid and I used to have this thing. What was it? It's been about 3 years now. But it used to be every time he came up, we had whatever the newest Tekken was, and we play. And like probably 3 out of 4, he's kicking my ass. Like he's doing unreal shit and like lifting me up and spilling my guts all over the place because he had Spawn. So it was just crazy. So at a certain point, whenever I won, I was just like, yeah, I'm hyping it up and I'm not playing no more. He was like, come on, we gotta play again. Nah. Like I won the last one.
Yep.
Tell me nothing. I beat you 4 at the time. Nah.
So
Who won the last match? I did.
You sound like guys online after they win that one match and then they want to rematch it.
Nah, because he was talking cash trash one day. I had to stop myself and realize he was my son because I was about to put pause on him. But it's all good, man. We was having fun. Do you remember or do you have a favorite fighter on Tekken?
Do I? Yeah. I'll grab it in a second. So Jin Kazama, he debuted in Tekken 3. I'm a Tekken nerd. I've entered Tekken tournaments back in the day, and they used to do local ones and stuff. Tekken Tag Tournament. There's a Tekken Tag machine in a local crab place in Glen Burnie, Maryland. And every time I go up there, I just wait and hope somebody gets on and plays Tekken, just so I can kick their ass. And I always do. I mean, they're not very good, but I miss the old because I haven't really played 7 or 8, the newer ones.
Right.
They actually just put 3 on PlayStation Network, but it's not online compatible. I'm playing that not that long ago, but yeah, and Eddie Gordo is one that everybody knows. He does with the crazy breakdancing martial arts style.
What's the I think it's Raiden. Once my son learned how to use Raiden, it was like at first it'd be like best of 5, I win 2 out of the 5, or I'd win 3 occasionally. But once he mastered Raiden and it was somebody else, what's the one that looks like Bruce Lee?
Martial law, forest law.
Once he got those 2 nailed down, it was a wrap. It
Pet.
was a wrap. What about you? Who you use or do you play? Did you play Tekken?
I didn't play Tekken.
Okay.
Tekken. But I do have a question.
Sure.
2 actually. What is your favorite soundtrack to a video game? And would you consider going to the orchestra to actually hear them play?
Oh, that's dope.
Speaking of physical media, I got this when I pre-ordered Tekken 3 for the PlayStation 1 in 1997. There's my favorite character. Still have
That's
it.
it, Doug.
I wear it for pajamas. It doesn't fit to go out in, but that was 30 years ago.
Repeat your question.
Oh, my question was one, what's your favorite what is your favorite soundtrack to a video game? And two, would you go to the orchestra to actually hear it be played?
B, no, because I don't like instrumental. I don't like orchestra style.
Okay.
I'm more of a. I got it's. I can listen to live beats. I can listen to a live band. I'm not a string orchestra type of person. It's just not my thing.
Okay.
That in musicals. But a you know what? The I can't say what my favorite one is because this is how I do it. I think FIFA came out in either '04 or whatever, and they had this soundtrack that was dope. And like I can hear all the songs on the soundtrack. The other game was, I think it was the PlayStation 3. Back in the day, you could, if you had a like an iPod or whatever, you could link your iPod to the PlayStation and you could change all the music. So all mine was like Wu-Tang, Tribe. So I love playing that because I was listening to everything I normally listen to. Redman.
And you was
Um
your own
yeah,
soundtrack.
yeah. So I made my own soundtrack, and then like so whenever my player, if he hit a home run in his first at bat, the music would be like "Whoa" by Black Rob, and then if he hit on his second at bat, it'd be another song. Like I had all of that programmed, and then I realized that you couldn't do that anymore, and I was like, I still love the game, but I haven't figured out that feature. If I can get that feature back, I'd be all in.
So I'll answer that. So when you say soundtracks, I don't look at modern. I mean, I know they have scores, but like most games have real songs. So I go back to the old school Nintendo, Super Nintendo stuff that had composed music.
Right.
I like old stuff like Contras, Double Dragons. Those are
Yep.
some of my personal favorites. She was saying going to an orchestra. Now, for the first time ever, I went to for the 50th anniversary of Jaws, which is my favorite movie. I went to the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra and watched Jaws with a live orchestra, and I thought that was awesome. So, as far as video games go, would it be cool to like watch? I don't know, like Zelda,
Oh
or
yeah.
Right.
yeah, like I guess the gameplay on a screen and then listen. Or I don't know if I can just sit there and listen to the music. Maybe, but the movie, and again, you couldn't do it for all movies. Obviously, Jaws. One of the big reasons it's so successful is because of the score.
Right.
So watching that part of it was with that I knew that would be cool. But I've seen there's like bands that play like video game music, like real bands.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't mind maybe seeing. I've watched some of that on YouTube, but I mean I would give it a shot. I don't have the disdain for the classical arts like Midnight Rider does, but
I think that no, it's not a disdain, but it's a low priority. I think if I had to listen to something, since you brought up movies, I think there's two scores I would love to hear, like it played in a big band style, and it would be um the Rocky soundtrack,
yeah,
and
that
that's
would be great.
all because of high school. Um, he's Bossman says Madden 2003
And
and
live NBA Live 2003.
um Star Wars.
Well, yeah.
Like that dun, 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 dun. Like I want to hear that I'd go to the Kennedy Center for that. So there you go. See, y'all got me some culture. There you go.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
So have you done that? Have you
Yes.
been to it? Okay.
So a friend of mine took me to go listen to Final Fantasy V, and like Brian, he loves. Oh, that boy be on them games like it's nobody's business.
Final Fantasy. Ugh.
Look, it wasn't. I ain't paid for it.
I know. I'm in the minority. It's so popular, but I hate Final Fantasy. Anyway,
But
sorry.
he plays. He loves Sonic, and he loves what is it? The rabbits, Mario Rabbit. Yeah, Mario Rabbits. To the point point that it's downloaded on my phone. Okay, so Sonic Frontiers, they have almost 45 discs for. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Junior. I'm sorry. He, he he plays it so much that he'd be like, "Ooh, can we listen to the soundtrack?" And I have it on my phone. So that was something I was actually thinking about taking him to, since he knows the songs exactly where in the story these particular things start popping up at. So I've been thinking about doing that with him for a little while.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Also, real quick, PlayStation, I don't know how many games in it, but I know specifically the original Tekken, if you took the disc, the game, put it in a CD player, whole soundtrack was on it.
Oh damn!
Wow.
I remember taking that game with me and listening to it in my Discman, like in the car. And that was like a feature that PlayStation had that like other systems didn't have. I don't know how long it lasted, but and I don't know how many games did it, but I know for a fact the original Tekken did it, which is pretty cool. And I
That,
know also I used to subscribe to Nintendo Power magazine, and
I had
every year they give you a gift if you subscribe for the whole year. And some of the options were soundtracks. I remember I had the Donkey Kong Country soundtrack on cassette tape.
Oh man, brought up cassette tapes. I've actually thought about making that. I've got one, but I don't like the way it's set up. But I'm gonna have a cassette tape as a background. Um, one of these days.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what
So
I'm putting.
he said the boss riding around listening to Sonic loses credibility instantly. That's why you got to be specific. See,
Yeah, stop crying. Stop crying.
Sonic's got good music. I don't know what he's talking about.
Exactly. That's what he don't know no better. It's all right. It is okay.
There's a YouTube channel. It's called 8-bit or whatever. It's 8-bit stereo, and it has literally every 8-bit game, and they've remixed it and the stereo sound. I remember coming home from a trip from Tennessee, and me and my son listening to that on hooked up to the car for hours, listening to old video game music. So, but if it's too good for him, that's fine. That's why he's the boss.
That don't nobody pay him no attention. He know. That's fine. He gonna
Random question because you guys started talking games, systems, and music. Let's step out of music, but go into the games. Um, First video game system you had, and then if you had like a Nintendo or a Sega Genesis, what was the game or the game that stuck out to you for those systems?
All right, I'll go first. Full disclosure, I was a spoiled rotten kid. I
Okay.
don't think Mama Sweetie's not watching this, but I actually have vivid memories of when my dad bought the first Nintendo, the original Nintendo entertainment systems would have been 87, 88. I just remember being in a store. I had to be 4 years old, but I remember just him walking by the display and going to my mom and going, "I want one of these," and we bought it. And we all played as a family for a little while, Mario Brothers and like pinball and stuff, and it just turned into just me playing it. And throughout my years and getting older and buying them, I've had them all: Nintendo, Sega, 64, play all the PlayStations, different Game Boys. I didn't have a Saturn, but nobody bought that. I had a Dreamcast, that kind of stuff.
Yo, did you play the fighting game on Dreamcast?
What, Soul Calibur 2?
Was it so? No, I thought they had another one.
Well, they had Power Stone, Soul Calibur, Dead or Alive.
None of those ring a bell. I gotta find out. I'll find out and I'll text you to you. I'll put
Okay.
it.
But
Yeah.
I have so many memories wrapped up into video games. I have a friend of mine that we've been friends since we were 4, and relationship that we still have. We play online together every day. I mean, he doesn't live that far away, but lazy and kids and all that. So, but that's how we maintain our friendship. Still, we play online together every day. But playing, like I said, Double Dragon, Tecmo Super Bowl, and I think for my age personally, you know, I didn't grow up in the very beginning. Obviously, Atari and that stuff was before me, but Nintendo was the first system. It had the controller, 2 buttons, and a pad. And
Mhm.
now, and I grew up through the evolution. Super
Right.
Nintendo with its evolution in 64, and then now what we have now and all that stuff. So, I and I always tell my son now how I believe not games themselves have peaked, but graphics have clearly peaked. I don't know how they get any better. If you look at a game from 2000, if you look at a game now and look at a game 5 years ago, they're in a huge difference. But if you look at a game on Nintendo in '85 and look at a game on a Super Nintendo in 1990, 5 years later, they look completely different, and on and on and on. So I don't know how graphics get any better, but
I think the graphics get better more so in the, you know how in the shoot away scenes in some movies, I mean in some games, I think those graphics get better. I don't know if the actual game graphics get better.
gameplay, right? The cinematics, yeah. I mean, Madden, I know everybody complains year to year that Madden is just minor tweaks and added rosters every year, but I mean,
What more can you
again,
do?
yeah, right. I know.
Because I used to hate the one where you had the, what was it, the field of vision. I used to hate
Oh
that.
yeah.
Um, they had a bunch of stuff that you kind of hated, but B
Oh, the
said,
power
yeah,
pad. Yeah, I have the power pad. Power pad. I still have all my. Sorry, I still have all my stuff too. It's in my garage. Me
that's
and
why
my
KG
son, we
like
we played a power pad a few years ago.
See?
that's why KG likes you. Y'all like kindred spirits because I think KG still has, what does he have? I know Brian said the thing, but he has like his Sports Illustrated, like in chronological order, somewhere in his house.
Sounds like
Yeah, exactly.
So
Um,
when I was sick, I mentioned it many times on the show. I'm a two-time cancer survivor and I had lymphoma. I was in the hospital for years, and I had to one of the treatments I had to do. I had to stay in the hospital for 2.5 straight weeks. And one of the things, my mom doesn't throw away stuff, so she still has a lot of my stuff as a kid. I said I subscribed to Nintendo Power. I subscribed to Nintendo Power for like 15 years. She still has all my old magazines. So one of the things my dad did, he would bring me about two or three different Nintendo Powers every time he came to visit me, and I'd sit in the hospital and look at them again, and that would just kill time because you get nothing to do with sitting when you're sitting in the hospital. I love going back and looking at all that old stuff. It's cool to see all that again, reading the
I just
reviews and seeing what's coming out, and
I just imagine that like that's crazy. But actually, let's table that because we kind of over what we want to do normally. Um, let's wrap it up. Just a final thought, and then maybe next week. I think Miss Bossman, you're out because
yep,
you go,
I'll,
huh?
I'll be out. I'll be under the knife
Right,
completely. Yep.
right.
And we'll
So
figure out
you,
like when I come back.
so if you
Look,
want to jump back in next week, Brian, I think
yeah,
we should.
whenever you need me, man, I'm always here.
I think we should just do a straight video game, and maybe one other thing, and yeah, let's have some fun.
Cool.
With that being said, we have come to the end of the freestyle, and I want to thank you guys really because this is what I was imagining right here. Like we had topics, and we didn't even get to Wimbyama, and I don't. I mean, we will get to that Sunday, but we
There you
just
go. We got to it right there. There it is. It's on a big old contract. There you go. Covered. Got it.
but no, it's just that's what it is, yo. We start reminiscing and thinking of stuff, and boom, we go here, we branched there, we went there. That's exactly what the freestyle is supposed to be. So for Miss Boss Man, Flying Brian, myself, the Midnight Rider, and the Sideline Junkies, anybody that commented, thank you for commenting. Everybody that watched, thank you for watching. We'll see you again next week, same time, same bad channel, and whatever the topic is. And if you got a topic and you want to throw it in the comments, throw it in the comments. And sorry, I didn't mean to miss your comment, but we got going on something else, and the momentum was going too fast. That roller coaster had gone down the hill, and I couldn't turn it back fast enough to get to you, bruh. So I apologize for missing your comments.
But
But
I saw the topic, and we'll probably talk about it on Tuesday because I think it actually kind of piggybacked off stuff we were talking about on Tuesday. So it's a Hall of Fame talk. So we'll cover that coming up
okay,
this next week.
there you go.
Yeah.
Tuesday, 6:30. Um, right now, what we got next? So tomorrow morning at 12, we will get an episode of the Gridiron. Um, I'm trying to get all the coaches to come in. And if they're playing 27, I want them to kind of do a pick their teams type of thing. You know how the recruits say, "Hey, my name is such and such. You know, I'm taking my talents, or I'm gonna go to this school and put the team hat on, or pick the team and put a banner up." That's what I'm trying to do tomorrow. I don't know if we're gonna get that done. I do also have to interview Hollywood, who's the four-time, 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 4-time champion of the league. So we got that. Then, of course, tomorrow night, I think we had the WrestleManiacs. And then Sunday morning, Sunday Rise. And then we go right back into the week. And we'll update you on what we got going on during the week because I don't know what everybody's schedule is. So I don't want to lead anybody on or give them any bad information. So with that being said, thank you for coming out. Thank you for enjoying. We'll do it again, and we'll see you again next Friday for the freestyle.